We've been watching the news of the problem that people in Africa are having with, they're calling them locusts, but they're really just grasshoppers. They're just eating up everything as they go along. And apparently they're multiplying real fast because they've been having excessive rain, and the grasshoppers like to lay their eggs in moist ground, and they multiply really fast. It seems that the people in Somalia, Kenya, Ethiopia, and some other Eastern African states and spreading fast because they apparently can spread at 90 miles per day, but they just keep them multiplying faster than they leave. They have a terrible problem because they're eating up everything. And I see them, the people with pieces of cloth lined up trying to chase them out of the fields, and that way anything that they have hopes of making them leave. And it's probably not going to work whatever they do, because I remember back somewhere in the middle 40s here in Missouri, we had that same problem. We had a tractor, and you could take the drawbar off, and as a tricycle tractor, it didn't have a wide front end, but you could drive down the rows. Our tractor had a real high clearance after you took the drawbar off to where you could go down mature corn rows and not break the corn down. And most people in our territory, which very few people had a tractor, but most of them had a little Ford or something like that with no clearance at all hardly, and they couldn't use them to spray with. So we had a rack built up right behind the tractor seats where the driver was. It would hold two 50-gallon barrels, and we would mix up chemicals to kill those grasshoppers. It was my job around the neighborhood for a few weeks spraying grasshoppers. I discovered you can't kill them. They'll multiply faster than you can kill them. We had fields of corn that was just putting on shucks and silks. We could cover the ground with dead grasshoppers, and they still ate all the leaves, all the shucks, everything, except the stalks. They didn't leave until everything was eaten. So it's almost a hopeless case. You just hope for dry weather to where they'll quit multiplying. Apparently they just multiply when the weather is wet. There in Africa, they think their best thing to stop the multiplication of millions of them, of the grasshoppers, it's going to take dry weather so they don't have the moist ground to lay their eggs in. Apparently they don't lay them, or at least the eggs don't multiply in dry ground. So till they get to dry weather, they're probably just going to keep them moving on through Africa, Eastern Africa. And it's a real problem because they're eating all their food up. And I don't know what they're going to do, but it's about an impossible situation to stop them by spraying or chasing them off or anything, because they seem to build up a toxicity to where the birds can sense that, and they won't eat the ones who become toxic. And so even the birds can't help stop it. But the sheer numbers, there are just millions and millions of them when that gets to going, that not much of anything can stop them unless it will be the dry weather to where they'll quit multiplying. They die off pretty quick, but they also multiply really fast. I don't know what they're gonna do, except they're probably gonna require a lot of food being shipped in to keep them starving to death over there, which is a terrible situation to be in because they just barely feed themselves in the first place. They're covering a huge amount of area now. With what's going on with grasshoppers in Africa and coronavirus in China, there's creating quite a lot of uncertainty in production in the world, and can soon has the possibility of being a real problem worldwide from all these things. And we have a problem right here with the Japanese beetles. They operate kind of like the grasshoppers. They eat everything they come to, and they just do it overnight in any given area. And that's a real problem. It's been a problem with us raising vegetables. And our rose bushes, they just clean them out overnight. They eat all the leaves and everything, and they're dead. There's problems. I guess there always has been, but there's some very serious problems all around that the world's going to be facing, I think, in the very near future. I think when we take God out of our lives, we're going to have serious problems. And that's just my thought, but I see it happening in this country, and I think we better start thinking about what's real. But anyway, that's everyone's choice.